Hi, I'm Andy, and welcome to Timely Topics. Today we're going to be talking about the Lakeshore Fab Lab, and the person we're talking to about it is Dave Stradell. Dave is a business instructor here at Muskegon Community College and oversees the Lakeshore Fab Lab. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Andy. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, so I've heard a lot about this Fab Lab, and it's been in the news a little bit, but can you tell us exactly what is the Lakeshore Fab Lab at Muskegon Community College?
Be glad to. Lakeshore Fab Lab is a concept that's been 5 years in the making here at the college. And the concept, it's based off of a Massachusetts Institute of Technology program, MIT.
Yeah.
There you go. And I figured if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for us.
Sure.
And the idea is to put up a center where kids can learn STEM education, that's science, technology, engineering, and math, but also provide a rapid prototype center for entrepreneurs and inventors. So they can literally take their idea that might be on a napkin and get it to a prototype, which they can then use to see if a product is viable, maybe show it to manufacturers, et cetera. So we run a gambit of kids through adults.
Right. Even people probably retired and wanted to tinker
Absolutely,
around.
and that's a point. The lab is not just for MCC students, it is for the community.
Really?
We are a membership-based organization. Anybody can join. We have very modest fees.
Okay, can you give an example of a fee?
Of course. For students, if you bring in any student ID from any college or high school or school, doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be an MCC, it's $25 a year.
Now that's reasonable.
And for an adult, $250 a year. But if you're an educator, we reduce that to $100 a year. And we also have group memberships. And if you join the Muskegon Inventors Network, that's a reduced rate. So we try and package deals to make it very reasonable for people to join. And then you pay a time and materials as you do projects.
Right. So what does that $25 to $250 get you?
Gets you, first of all, access to the lab. We have very sophisticated equipment at the lab, as well as simpler equipment, obviously, for the younger ones. It gets you, every once in a while, we'll have some free classes or free activities. It allows you to come into those. It gives you reduced rates for classes that we do run on making a particular project or learning how to use a particular machine. And part of what we do at the Fab Lab is education. So we will teach members of any age, as long as it's safe enough for them to learn, how to use a plasma cutter, how to use a router, how to use a laser etcher. So education is a big part of what we do. The idea is, instead of doing something for somebody, which of course we can do and do perform those functions, why not teach them how to do it for themselves?
Okay.
So they can learn the skills, and then the creativity, there's no limits to their creativity.
Sure. And where is this located?
Fab Lab is located, for those who are familiar with Muskegon, it's the old Masonic Temple, which is right next to the former Muskegon Chronicle building, right across from Hackley Park. It's on Clay Street between 3rd and 4th Street. And we have some pretty good hours. We're open Mondays from 9 to 5, Tuesdays through Friday from 9 to 8 o'clock at night.
Oh, 8 o'clock, wow.
And Saturdays from noon to 4.
Okay.
So we have hours available for students, we have hours available for adults, and we have hours available for the weekend warriors.
Yeah, sounds like it. So what you mentioned some of the equipment you have down there. Is there software and stuff that you need to learn, or is that taught to you in order to use some of these machines?
The answer to your question is yes.
Okay.
That's part of our education. We use the same sophisticated CAD, computer-aided design software that our applied technology programs use. Plus we also have computer-aided design classes that kids use in the schools. Tinkercad, as it happens to be a name. SolidWorks is the more advanced project software that we use. We teach it, and a lot of our machines use it. Also Corel Draw, Adobe Illustrator, so some of the Adobe suites.
A lot of them, yeah.
A lot of software packages, and some of them are interchangeable between the machines. Sometimes we have to translate. But bottom line, if you can get something into a electronic design, we can find a way to make it.
Okay, so you don't need a lot of background in these. If you say, I've got this idea, but I don't really know these programs, you can help out with that.
We have volunteers, wonderful volunteers at the Fab Lab who have experience in this. Our manager, Chris Kaminsky,
Okay.
is a Grand Valley State University mechanical engineer. He's learned a lot of those in his scholastic career, and also as a professional career as a product developer for General Motors and other companies. So he's
Okay.
well versed in those things.
Well, that's good to have him here for that.
It is. He was a great acquisition to the team. And,
Yeah.
and again, we assist inventors who don't know, but we also encourage them to get their own education on it.
Oh, great, great. And I think you work with others on this. I mean, you call it the Lakeshore Fab Lab. It's not just an MCC. It is sponsored by MC and run by MCC, but do you partner with others to help do this?
A Fab Lab like this really is built by the community for the community. And that's why we're open to the public, one of the reasons. So as part of that community outreach, and by the way, it's built by the community, meaning that all of the funds for our equipment, and we have close to $500,000 worth of equipment in the Fab Lab, was all donated to us by community members.
That's wonderful.
It is. It's
Yeah.
fantastic. So it's for the community in that now we return that favor by partnering with groups like Big Brothers Big Sisters,
Okay.
Upward Bound, Michigan Works, Muskegon Inventors Network, homeschool groups, the MAISD and all their public schools, homeschool organizations. So Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Boys and Girls Club. All these groups we're working with to come in and they do events at the Fab Lab. Sometimes the homeschoolers are in every week. Some of these other groups come in every other month to do a special project for them.
Okay.
And so it's, and we're growing those by leaps and bounds. We're very active with the First Robotics Group. And that's been quite an experience for us. We're learning from them. But we've done things, we've printed parts for their robots. We've offered some classes on how to do things. Some of their instructors have come in and actually made parts for their robots
Well, that's neat.
using our
Yeah,
equipment.
all right. So a lot of it's an educational a project to work with students from K-12 really system, as well as the college students. How about someone who's you know, a budding entrepreneur, has an idea, or even just started a business? Is the Fab Lab available to them, and would it be useful to them?
Yes, it would. The Fab Lab is housed in the same facility as the Rook-Sarnicola Entrepreneurship Institute.
Okay.
And I am also responsible for the entrepreneur training here at the college. So we have college programs that can help you write a very solid business plan.
Okay.
And that business plan actually gets vetted by people in the community. Nick Sarnicola, one of the two names on the building, has actually donated a $200,000 fund to the college. Every year we award one graduate of our entrepreneur program a $10,000 award to launch their business.
Okay, kind of like a Shark Tank. Here's some
Yeah,
money.
a little bit
I'm
like
in competition,
that.
at
Yes,
least, yeah.
absolutely. And our next one is going to be, our business plans will be pitching in 2 weeks or 3 weeks to Nick.
Okay.
And sometimes we catch him in Miami or Italy, and sometimes he's here in the area.
Well, that's nice.
Yes.
And so he's one of the judges of
He
this?
is. He is the final say as to who the winner is.
Oh, great, great.
So
Yeah.
it's-
That's exciting.
It's very exciting. Very
And,
exciting. And we have some others. We also do entrepreneur outreach to high schools.
Okay.
So we have a program where high schoolers get entrepreneur training, and instead of ending in a business plan pitch or just a elevator pitch competition, these high school students have to start and sell products and services to the community. So we try and promote this program not only to their parents and their school, but to the surrounding community. For those of you who have been in business or familiar with business, the rubber meets the road when you're in front of the customer.
Yep. You got to perform.
And I've listened, sometimes these students do it individually, sometimes they're in groups of two, and I've heard phone calls between one or the other that says, I don't care if you're sick today, you've got the inventory, you've got to bring it down, have your mother bring it down. And I'm laughing because that is real world. If
Yeah.
anybody out there is listening, is in manufacturing, you've got product to deliver and you've got customers waiting. Don't give me excuses. Find a way to do it.
Right. And so you're going to give people those tools to be able to get that done.
Absolutely, that experience.
Yeah.
And if they've got an idea to make a product, well, we can obviously help them make it to prototype, as I said earlier.
Well, wonderful. This sounds like a really neat place that I'd like to see more. I saw it kind of early on, but now that it's really moving and you're getting a lot of people through there, I think a lot of people have heard about it. Can they tour it? Can they come and see it?
Tours are free. You can stop in anytime, get a tour. We'll also this summer be open during Parties in the Park.
Oh.
Also, Taste of Muskegon, an art festival, will be open.
Okay.
And we'll have all sorts of groups in there, as well as the Fab Lab, something for the kids to do, something for adults to do. Come see our capabilities. Again, we've been talking STEM education. That's what we adults call it. We just want the kids to call it fun.
Yeah.
We have robots where they can drive them using their cell phones. We have basically junk drawer robotics where a gentleman comes in and takes old power drill motors, puts them together, puts some lollipops on them, and now he's got a robot that's moving around the floor and waving his hands.
That's pretty neat. So it's pretty creative stuff.
Very creative stuff, very creative. So we really encourage the community to come in, stop by and see what we have. And in fact, Andy, there's an open invitation. Come on down and see what we do.
Hey, I'd love to take you up on that. And can we bring the show down?
Absolutely.
All right. So why don't you all follow us down to the Fab Lab? Well, hey everyone. Through the power of TV, I'm magically down at the Lakeshore Fab Lab. Hey, Chris.
Hey,
how are you?
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, this is Chris Kaminsky. He's the manager of the Fab Lab, and
hey, everybody.
He knows everything about this place, so he's going to give us a big tour.
I try to know everything.
So tell me a little bit about your background as we're going here. How did you get involved in doing things?
So my background was mechanical engineering, graduated from Grand Valley. I kind of got into the whole maker kind of space movement in Grand Rapids with a couple of the maker spaces that used to exist in there.
Okay.
And I got into 3D printing, and it just really took off for me. And I have 6 printers at home. When I interviewed for here, I think I had like 3. So they're like, "Yeah, you're the kind of guy we need to run this space."
Yeah, right. That's great. And have you worked in industry too?
Yes, so automation, product development, all kinds of things. General Motors, worked at a General Motors plant before I came here.
Wow.
So you really diverse.
Yeah, you have the education, the interest, and the experience.
Yep.
Well, cool. Well, let's see what we have going on here.
Awesome. So here we have some homeschool group. They're working on Raspberry Pis, so it teaches coding. It's kind of like an intro to electronics platform.
Okay.
It's a hobbyist electronics. They're very powerful. They're currently working on building a photo booth for their birthday party.
Oh yeah.
And so they're going to do all the coding and implement cameras into it and all that kind of stuff that you need for a photo booth.
Yeah.
And using these small devices, which I'm going to grab it from you girls real quick. So all it is that computer chip.
Right there. That's it.
And there's an LCD screen so that they can see what they're doing. And then the camera, so you could do things from controlling robotics to weather stations to photo booths.
Right. Who doesn't love a photo booth?
Right.
Well, that's neat. How about over here?
Over here is our impromptu Sphero ring. So these Spheros are small little robots that you can code using the app that they have. So there's
an app on their phone.
Yeah, or a computer tablet. And you can tell it to do different operations, and it implements that code. So here they're learning coding. They think, kids think they're playing, but they're learning coding for down the road. They could do Java, C programming, web development, all that kind of stuff.
So really generating the interest in this coding and seeing it play out right there in front of them.
Right. And they're kind of fun.
Yeah, it looks like it, yeah. Well, great. And how many could you get in here at once?
We have 6, and we've had 6 around here.
Yeah.
And we found out we needed this ring because otherwise they just go everywhere.
Yeah, right. You could have games, you can have competitions.
Exactly. So one of the things we're working on is a table that we could build here in the lab where we could have these on and have different setups. So we could do races, we could do like a demo derby, we could do obstacle courses, bowling.
Yeah, neat. Yeah, that has to be fun. Can see there it goes. Wow.
Yeah, and
I'm sure kids love this.
they do, they do.
All right, cool. Let's move along.
Over here are kind of like what I would call the building blocks to like the robotics and coding.
Okay.
So the little bits are plug and play Lego electronics. So they have various components that, you know, like motors and buttons and buzzers, and they plug together just like Legos.
Neat.
So kids are playing like, oh, it's Legos, right? It's like the building blocks. But what they don't realize is they're actually learning about important concepts behind circuits.
Right, they're a step ahead as they go along.
Right.
Wow, so
There you go.
neat.
And if that doesn't work, what are you going to try next?
Yeah,
Pretty
so
determined in her work there.
right. So here, entry-level electronics, you know, the basic fundamentals. Then they can move on to more of our professional-grade electronic stuffs, like building a robot or, you know, designing their own thing from kind of scratch.
And
using the
eventually you
Raspberry Pis.
could even take classes here at the college level.
Exactly. Well, that's what we're doing. We're funneling that talent for the future, right?
Right, right. I hope so.
Over here is more of like, we call them our junk drawer robotics section, but taking those same concepts that kids learn and building robots. You know, everybody thinks a robot needs to be sleek and sexy like a Sphero, right?
Yeah.
Not necessarily. We have a gentleman that helps kids take old power tools and repurpose them, you know, into
I
these
think these are kind of
robots.
pieces of art as well as.
Right.
Yeah.
And the same things, you know, power supplies, switches.
So will this move? Oh, yeah, hey.
He has a little bit of torque to him.
Yeah, he really has some power there.
So this is more of the grown-up play area, different
Yeah.
stuff for that, like oscilloscopes.
So you have things of all ages really going on at the
exactly.
same place.
Yeah, there's adults and kids both doing this.
Yeah. Neat. Okay.
Wanna head on over to our laser cutter.
All right.
So the laser cutter is kind of the most popular machine here because everybody loves cutting stuff and seeing stuff get burned, right? Well, who doesn't love that?
So you're cutting wood?
You're cutting wood, you're cutting plastic, you're etching glasses. So we have one child, he's 12 years old here, one of our members. In Christmas time, he made about $1,200 selling custom etched glasses.
Made here?
Yeah, he's a future entrepreneur. Like he saw this machine, he saw the glasses we had done. He went down to the bars down the street, took orders, and came here and was etching.
Wow.
It got to the point where I had to like, all right, I got to kick you off. Somebody else needs to use the machine.
Right. He oversold.
Right. But you know, he's it's that.
That's
that
the type
fuel.
of person you're looking for in here.
Exactly. So he learned how to design. He learned a little bit about entrepreneurship.
Well, can we see some of the things you might make?
Definitely. So unlike the 3D printers, which you'll see, the laser takes 2D artwork that you create and only cuts on a 2D plane.
Okay.
So we've had various companies that come in to use this machine for making electronics cases. Artsy kind of people use it for like more craft type stuff. The laser is very quick, so it's very good for.
So this, what we're seeing was designed on a computer.
Yes.
And then fed to this machine and it's printing it out.
Yes.
What type of software was used to make this?
It's called Corel, but you can use any kind of like Adobe Illustrator. It really likes use vectors. So if anyone's watching that understands what a vector is, you probably can design for this machine.
Okay. So you're learning design and you get to learn how the laser printing works too.
Exactly. So
these are some things you made?
These are flat. That's an example of a flat cut, but all this was flat cut, and then you assemble it into a 3-dimension.
Wow, that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
So this is a pig, if you can't see. Oink, oink. That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
And even more intricate, it's a wine holder. Look at that. Wow.
Yep, just slides off.
If I could get it to work.
So when you think of the laser, you know, custom gifts come to mind because you can engrave a lot of stuff.
Right. Weddings, birthdays, that type of thing.
Oh yeah, weddings, definitely. We had one of our members last year. He did so much stuff on his wedding. It was insane.
I bet, yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So this is kind of what the software looks like when you lay out your design. So
Okay.
it just lays it out on basically a sheet of paper. You tell it what size material you have, and hit print. Dave probably already explained this to you, but the Fab Lab is part of a worldwide network, right?
Okay.
So we're not the only Fab Lab out there.
How
There's
many Fab Labs are there?
400 to 500
Okay.
throughout the world.
Throughout the world?
So the TV and the webcam kind of represents our ability to connect
interact
to
with.
those, to interact with those. Yeah. So there's a foundation that oversees and connects all of them together. You know, maybe we have a guest speaker from Germany talking about a specific woodworking topic and can chime in on here, right?
Right.
Or maybe we talk to our friends in California, get some feedback on how to run the lab. So, yeah.
Oh, that's nice. They're all connected.
Yep.
And what is the organization called?
It's called the Fab Foundation.
Fab Foundation.
Yeah, it started with MIT, which I'm sure Dave talked about.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and MIT still involved?
They're still involved with it. They were the first one, and they're kind of the overseers probably at the foundation.
Great.
So.
And so let's see some other things that you
Sure.
made after seeing those cool
So
woodcuts.
everybody always loves the hairy unicorn. So this was 3D printed.
Wow. So someone designed and then this printed out this
Yep.
way?
So the way that so the hair kind of looks kind of like a mohawk, right?
Right.
But once you snip all this off, you take a hair dryer, you can style the hair.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat, man.
Just a clever design.
Yeah.
Things like this guy, this pangolin. So this critter was designed and put on the internet for people to print. It's called a pangolin. I guess they're kind of endangered, so the person that put this out there used it as kind of a campaign for save the pangolins.
Yeah.
So,
Wow. And this was done here in the lab?
yep, it prints in one piece too.
One piece. Wow.
And some of you who maybe are familiar with working on cars may recognize this as a sole source of frustration. But this was an alternator model that I did on one of our higher end machines in the other room. So this could be used for educational purposes, teaching the different parts to kids and adults.
This would be great, yeah, for a mechanics class. You could probably also do like hearts and stuff for a
Right.
biology class.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Neat.
Actually, you say that.
Oh, there is a little heart. I didn't do that on purpose. He comes up with everything.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
In addition to that, anything else catch your eyes? Like,
Well, this is very intricate. What do we have going on here?
so this was another 3D print. You can feel it's kind of heavy, but this is more on the art side of 3D printing and design, right?
So we got the practical with the machinery
Right.
parts, and here with the art.
And this was done on one of our higher end machines in the other room too. That's why it looks so nice.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I mean it's STEAM, right? Science, technology, engineering, arts, math.
Right.
You can't have engineering without something looking pretty.
Yeah. all use creativity.
Right. Over here are Ozobots. These are fun for kids because kids like to draw, right? That's very popular. I mean, most people do.
Yeah.
But the Ozobots are these cute little robots that can follow lines that you draw. So there's different sequences of different colors mean different things to the Ozobot. So if I draw, it's hard to see that, but if I do like a blue, green, red pattern, it means it will do a nitro boost and this guy will just speed off real fast. So you're teaching block coding concepts to kids in something that's very fun and interactive, like coloring.
It's easy, but fun.
Right.
Yeah. And gets them interested in coding without probably even knowing what that is.
Right. So again, just like the Spheros, it's like you're learning the building blocks to the fundamentals of coding, to making your own robot, to being a Java web developer, to, I didn't do this when I was a kid. So.
No, I did not either.
Yeah.
I had Pong.
Right.
All
You
right.
might wonder what these zoned out kids
Yeah.
are.
Is this, what do we have going on here?
So these are Oculus Go's.
Okay.
And these are virtual reality headsets. We have a bunch of these that we use for field trips and classroom activities. So
And,
virtual reality, they're immersed into a world. They could be on a roller coaster.
They don't really know we're here, right?
You're doing golf.
Oh, you're doing golf.
They're playing golf. They're
Well,
working on their backstroke.
It is the Masters this week.
Right. But there's things from games to learning how the body works. You're riding around on a red blood cell, and it's teaching you about the inside.
Wow, yeah.
To like a space Apollo 11 simulator where you're an astronaut experiencing it. So very popular.
It really puts you in the place of the astronaut. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Okay. So these are obviously bigger machines.
Oh yeah.
And is this kind of what we saw up there with the wood cutting?
So this is a CNC ShopBot CNC router, and it loves to do wood. That's what a lot of industry like Hayworth and all the Herman Millers, they're using these machines on an industrial level to make cabinets. But it doesn't use a laser to cut; it uses a machining CNC bit.
Okay.
So you're making furniture out of this. Like this desk was made on this machine. A lot of the intricate carvings that were on that table were done on this machine. Yeah.
So you could do a whole lot of different applications on here.
Right. So young kids who come in here and play around, learn how to code on this machine, the skills are very versatile.
So they're learning to make things. Are they also somewhat learning how the machine works?
Yeah, and maintenance.
And maintenance of it, yeah.
They help me keep this thing alive. A lot of this equipment, a lot of these things just need a little TLC every now and then. So having a little army of kids and adults that I can say, can you go lube up those bearings for me? Helps out quite a lot.
They do need some upkeep, I'm sure.
Right.
And then how about this machine here?
So this is a torch-mate plasma cutter. So this is for like cutting metal signs, metal furniture, any kind of sheet metal. So brackets. One of our first robotics teams that's a member here through Grand Haven, they've been coming in and cutting brackets for the robot because they're in the state championship this week. So.
Neat. Okay. So there's a lot of applications, and this looks like a sophisticated machine.
This
here.
is a Haas CNC mill. She has not been fired up yet. We are itching to go on her, but this is exactly like what we teach here at MCC in the machining department. They have the exact machine, so if somebody wants to come in and they're learning the concepts at MCC, or maybe they want to do more of a free learning here and then take classes at MCC, they can come in and use this machine to make whatever they want out of metal and plastics.
Fabulous, fabulous.
Yeah.
So
I tell you,
leads
if I
you
had
right
this,
upstairs, right?
Exactly, it takes you right upstairs, and it develops a passion. People can develop a passion for it.
Great. All right, well, you want to go into the other room and see even those higher edge machines that you
definitely.
mentioned?
Let's go check out the
Oh,
lab.
but wait, let's see.
Oh yeah,
young
the 3D
girl
printers.
is working on 3D pens there.
So she's playing with our 3D pens. So 3D printers are kind of like a passive activity, as you can see the ones that are running here.
Right, you program it and just
you.
let it go here.
Right, so this is more of a hands-on, right? It keeps you occupied, teaches kids about building stuff.
So this is like plastic coming out there that's being heated and then...
Exactly like that. It's like a hot glue gun.
All right, and she's making some
You
really
made
cool
some really
glass.
cool glasses, yeah. Those are cooler than the ones I made.
Can we see you in those glasses? Look at that. Oh, wonderfully done. All handmade.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is where you have designing software?
Yes, so most of the stuff you're gonna do out there, you have to code it on a computer, you have to design it using different software like SolidWorks or Adobe Illustrator or pretty much anything that's like CAD related. You're gonna be in here doing stuff.
Okay.
So right here we have SolidWorks up. So SolidWorks is a professional CAD. We use that when I was at General Motors. So we have access to that software here that our students can.
Now, if I knew nothing, which I don't, about this type of programming, are there classes that you could teach?
Yes. So
People
we do more like an intro workshop classes here. So it's more of like the free learners like, well, I don't know if I want to do CAD design, but I don't know if I want to sign up for a college
CAD
class that's going to intimidate me. So yeah, we'll do more like a get your feet wet kind of thing, and if it really interests you,
then you can go on and take the class.
Go on and take the class.
Yeah. Okay.
So we start out a lot of kids on Tinkercad. Actually, I use Tinkercad, and I'm a grown adult that knows CAD. But Tinkercad's
so it's
like
pretty powerful even for the kids, right?
Right.
Even though it's easier probably to use.
Tinkercad's kind of like building blocks of designing. So you're throwing pieces of primitive shapes out onto a plane to create pretty cool objects. Like I found a Harry Potter model last night that I never would have assumed somebody made in this program, but they did.
Wow.
It teaches the concepts of spatial orientation, dimensioning, and then once you get that concept down, you can go on to more of the professional CAD like SolidWorks.
Right, right. And then they're able to transfer what they've made here to one of the 3D printers over here behind us?
Exactly. So these machines are more 3D printers like we have in the other room. These are more high-end professional kind of.
So you'll get greater detail in these?
Higher strength.
Okay.
Higher accuracy. You get more advanced materials with these machines too.
So if you have a membership here and you want to make a part, is there a cost to running this or?
Yep. Typically, the cost for these higher end machines, we'll work with them. I'll import the model, do an estimate. We'll figure out the time and the materials it's going to take. For our lower end machines, we only charge like $1 an hour. So a lot of we've had inventors come in and they'll use the lower end machines to get their first runs done.
Yeah, right.
And then when they want their final prototypes, they'll come in here and use these machines because they're more costly, but they're way better.
Right, right. So can you give us a little example of what a part might take, a smaller part here might
cost?
Yeah.
So something like this guy, this is a bracket for one of our members' 3D printers. So it's a 3D printer making parts for a 3D printer, right?
Wow.
So the problem was that the ones on those machines worked for testing stuff, but it wasn't very strong. So this, I think we ended up charging $20 for.
Okay, so it's not outrageous at all.
Right.
Yeah. And so, hey, we got printers making printers. Isn't this what we were worried about?
Right. It's the robot apocalypse.
Right here in Muskegon.
Right. Over here is more of our crown jewel machine. She's not running right now because she's kind of loud, actually. This is a Fortis 450. There's only a couple of these in Michigan open to the public in spaces like ours. It's a $200,000 machine. So
what makes it special?
It can do about a dozen different types of engineering grade plastics. So you can do prosthetics materials, like FDA approved prosthetic materials.
I could make a hip for myself in this.
Probably, maybe not a hip.
Oh, okay.
More external.
External, like
maybe
an
a knee
arm
brace.
or something. Okay.
So tooling. So when I was at GM, the tech center over in Warren, they had these machines making nesting and like plastic tooling and stuff like that.
Okay.
As well as engine manifolds, because this thing can print a plastic. I can't remember the name of it, but it can withstand temperatures of up to 400 degrees C.
Wow.
So basically
really hot.
on par with inside an engine. So they're printing manifolds out of that material. Ultem, that's the name. And they're running the test motors. Those test motors are only going for 100 hours at a time or so it does just fine for that. But then they don't have to cast out of metal, right? It's quick, rapid prototyping. It's, this didn't work, well, I'll change the design, boom, reprint it.
So so you're saving costs, it's quicker.
Right.
Boy, that just spurs innovation much more quickly.
Exactly. That's what this space is fostering.
Yeah.
We want to give the kids and the adults that maybe want to do some advanced prototyping for an invention, or maybe they own a small manufacturing company and they don't want to invest the money into a 3D printer. We want to give them access to the design tools and the printers to make their dreams come reality.
Well, this has been a great tour. We're going from small kids to adults to people in business and entrepreneurs, and getting people here to the college and hopefully taking advanced classes in other areas as they go along.
Exactly.
And we're standing by a piece of a $250,000 piece of equipment that you have available to the public.
Right.
So well, thank you. We've been with Chris Kaminsky. And we've been touring the Lakeshore Fab Lab here at Muskegon Community College. It's open to everyone. Tours are available, right, if you want to stop by. And so please do. And thank you all. We were talking earlier to Dave Stradell, a business instructor from Muskegon Community College that overlooks the Lakeshore Fab Lab. And thank you all for watching. Until next time, have a great day.